Good afternoon to all YouTube subscribers. I'm Justin Fleming, and I'm here today to give you my review on today's Young and Restless, Friday, October 27, 2017. Happy Friday, by the way. And today's Young and Restless was stupid, hypocritical, and gross today. I couldn't stand this show. It's stupid. It's really stupid today. But let me get to all of you on today's show. A brash and sassy Billy, an uptight Billy, dispels rumors by phone while ordering lab workers around. And Lauren arrives with the story in hand, and they agree it's a disaster. Lauren is relieved to hear it's stable, and talk turns to Phyllis. Lauren cautions Billy will have to work hard to get her back. She then wonders who would hate brash and sassy enough to poison their mask. They exchange a light bulb look, and Billy takes off to Jabot hollering for Jack. Lauren informs him he's not there, and he is stunned when Billy shouts that he tainted their face masks and harmed Victoria. He insinuates that she might have been involved, and she smacks him. You know what? I don't think it's Jack. It can't be Jack. I don't think Jack had anything to do with those face masks. It can't be Jack. It can't be Gloria. It can't be Phyllis. And I know it can't be Juliet. I know who it is. Kane. It has to be Kane. It's got to be Kane, because think about it. We all know he hates Victoria. She fired him, and now he wants to repay her because she fired him and Juliet. It's his fault. It's Kane's fault. He the one that lied about the affair, and him and Juliet sleeping together. It's his fault. So he can't get mad at Victoria. You see, this is all about revenge. It's revenge. He did it to punish Victoria, teach her a lesson. I know Kane did it. Kane did it. It has to be Kane. I know some of you say it's Phyllis because she hated Victoria because she was trying to, because she hated Victoria because she was trying, because she had to get Hockman away from Victoria. So she had to get Hockman. See, so she hired Hockman to get her in place with Victoria, so that she can stay with Billy forever. Y'all, some of you think it's Phyllis, some of you think it's Jack, some of you think it's Gloria, some of you think it's Juliet, but it can't be either one of them. It has to be Kane, but I don't know. Let's see, we'll find out. Next one, let me read to you this next one. In Crimson Lights, Sharon tells Mariah about Scott being in the police station with blood on him. Mariah questions how well she actually knows him. Sharon insists he's a good man, but Mariah thinks he could have been messed up, might have lost it. Now I think some of you, I think Scott was an idiot. He's stupid. He should have never got involved in this situation, but over this sex ring thing. I know some of you, I think he's an idiot. Let me read to you the next one. Let's read to all of you this next one. In the station interview room, Scott tries to go over the events of the night before with Michael, but breaks down over Natalia being killed. Scott surmises that someone involved in the sex ring knew he was onto them and framed him to shut him up. It was my fault. It was my fault, he says. Michael warns him not to say that to anyone but him. Scott can't believe Paul would suspect him. Michael shrugs that Paul has to abide by the law. Scott vows to finish his expose, even if he has to do it behind bars. Michael goes to Paul's office and argues about Scott until a call calls in that Natalia had roofies in her bloodstream. Michael proposes that Scott was also drugged. Paul argues he tested negative, but Michael retorts that they were already out of the system. Alright, you know what? This is stupid. This is really stupid. Paul has to know the truth. He has to know that that Scott didn't do it. He didn't do it. I know some of you say that Zack blamed Scott for no reason, but there is a reason. Scott, there is a reason why Zack framed Scott. You see, Scott and Paul were getting too close to something, to the sex ring. He had motive and opportunity. That's why he framed Zack for murder, the murder of that prostitute. That's why he did it. That's why. Now, let me read to you this one. Now, meanwhile, Victor joined Scott, who was furious he threw him under the bus. Victor knows he's not capable of murder, but warns him not to be arrogant since the person who framed him won't rest until he's put away. You might think hard about his enemy might be. And, Victor is no saint. Let's not forget he framed Adam with Chloe's help. About that thing, that paper, whatever it was, that message, I forgot what it was. And then next to one, afterward, Lauren arrives after hearing Scott's arrest. And when Michael mentions it all started with a girl calling Sharon on the crisis hotline, Lauren storms out. Now next one, let me tell you, this is the real hypocritical when she was confronting Sharon. Let me read all of you this. Lauren burst into crimson lights to confront Sharon about being the reason Scott was arrested and framed for murder. Murder blurts, murder? What? Lauren unleashes about Sharon having ruined the lives of all the men she's been involved with, and they get into it about what sort of murders they are. Mariah has to physically intervene. Sharon wants a life with Scott without Lauren in it. And Lauren counters Sharon should be locked up for stealing Nick's child. Mariah whistles loudly and threatens to put them live on Hillary if they don't stop. You know what, Lauren? Why don't you just shut the hell up? Just shut the hell up, please. I mean, you have no room to talk and preach to Sharon about ruining the lives of all the men she's been involved with. What about you, Lauren? What about what you did to Eric with Stephanie from the Bowling Beautiful 20 years ago? And Stephanie slapped you for it, for taking Eric away from her to humiliate her. But what about when you tried to seduce his son Ridge in the steam room while he was in a relationship with Brooke? How about the time when you, Lauren, you slept with Brad and that crazy ass Sheila, your arch enemy, took photos of you two and turned the photo into puzzle pieces and sent them to your late husband to discover a big giant vanilla envelope, the truth about you and Brad's affair while you were married to him. Don't you remember that, Lauren? You old hussy, you old bitch. And let's not forget that you married Paul and you cheated on him with different men, even you slept, and you even slept with Abby's ex-boyfriend, and that mobster Carmine behind Michael's back. Remember that? And what about the time when you took Danny from Tracy? What about that? Remember that? You took Danny from Tracy. Don't you remember you took Danny from Tracy? So you have no room. So why should you be talking about Sharon stealing Nick's child? You've done the exact same thing. And because if anybody knows anything about stealing children, it's you, Lauren. If Sharon tries to steal Nick's child from Nick's child, then you, Lauren, will take Danny from Tracy. And the list goes on and on, you slut. You've done the same thing all those years. So don't you dare call the kettle black on Sharon. You're not the patron saint. But the real question is this, Lauren. The real question is, where were you? Where were you when Scott needed you? You've been an absent parent all these years with Scott. So from now on, shut the hell up. Just shut the hell up. And stop being the golden women. You couldn't practice what you preach, you redhead ass hypocrite. She really makes me sick. I know some of you think I did a good speech just saying that about Lauren. I know I spoke the real truth about Lauren. I spoke the real truth. I know some of you agree with what I just said about Lauren. She's a real hypocrite. A real hypocrite. I mean, Sharon doesn't even have anything to do with Scott's being arrested. She makes me sick. Now let me read all of you this next one. This really disgusted me today. Let me read all of you this. In the attack house, Abby opens the door to Zack and then closes it in his face. Later, he returns with balloons, and Abby rants at length about him breaking up with her by voicemail and threatens to call security. He stops her by saying, "Abby, I love you." Yeah, you don't love her. Scott calls off security and is mystified when he confesses that he deserves someone who doesn't deserve her. Zack would rather risk everything, however, than to be without her. They make love passionately on the sofa. That's the thing that really disgusted me today. I mean, that's gross. I mean, why in the world? I mean, Abby is having sex with a disgusting, sick human being like Zack. But that's good for Abby. That's what she gets. I mean that when she always preaches about Jack and Nikki and stuff, and she even slept with her niece's husband, Austin. And that's good. I mean, good for Abby. That's going to be her karma. Because she was so stupid to get involved with scum like Zack. Now let me read to all of you the next one. In Florida, Jack and Ashley puzzle over Dina laughing with Graham. They wonder if she's acting. And Jack steps away to take a call from Gloria, who updates him on Brash and Sassy's toxic mastic and Billy's accusations. Jack denies responsibility and urges her not to say anything. He disconnects as Graham makes contact and takes him over to Dina, who hisses at Graham for bringing back Jack and knowing how much he despises him. She swats Jack's hand away and trots off angrily. Graham shrugs that he tried to protect them from their true feelings. After Jack tells Ashley she's been brainwashed, he won't leave until they figure this out. Something has to be done about Graham. Something has to be done about Graham. And you know what? I don't think Jack did it. I don't think he did it at all. I don't think he poisoned those face masks to cause Victoria's concussion. Jack doesn't have any problems with Victoria. I bet you it's Kane. It has to be Kane because it's revenge. Victoria fired him, and now she just wants to hurt Victoria just because she fired him for lying about her affair with Juliet. Everything is Kane's fault. Now, next one. Let me read all the next one. At the club, Scott has been released and is with Michael and Lauren, who fusses over him. Sharon appears in a kiss while Lauren cringes. Scott thanks Michael and leaves with Sharon. Lauren and Michael sit down and she frets about the possibility of Scott being charged with murder. And then in Crimson Lights, Scott and Sharon ponder how to proceed. Zack isn't returning Scott's calls, and he couldn't remember anything. They get online to find out the dating services Natalia was using and discover one is linked to a cell phone app developed by Zack and Abby Newman. Now, something has to be done about that piece of crap, Zack. Something has to be done about that asshole. I can't wait to find out that Abby was using Zack. And that'll be good for Abby. That's what she gets. That's going to be her karma for all the things, she's been doing, and breaking up other couples. She already broke up with Ben Stitch. Now, next one. At Brash and Sassy, Victor hounds Billy and asks, "Who the hell poisoned those face masks?" He says, And Vic thinks Jack could be the culprit, but Billy won't stop Victor from going after his brother. He'll help. Please, Vic, Victor, shut the hell up, because you've been doing some worse things all your life. I mean, you're the one who's been framing your son Adam with Chloe's help. You need to shut up. I mean, there's no way. I mean, Billy didn't even do when he hurt his daughter. I mean, I'm no fan. I'm not that much of a fan of Billy, but there's no way that Billy could have hurt his daughter. I mean, there's no way. I mean, someone who poisoned those face masks hated Victoria that much. It could be Juliet, which some of you might say, Cain, or it can't be Jack. It might be Phyllis, but not Gloria. So that's my little review for all of you on today's Young and Restless. So subscribe to me, Justin Fleming. Have a happy Friday. And I can do any kind of review for all of you. I can do Young and Restless and Bone Beef at the same time. So subscribe to me, Justin Fleming. Hit like my video, make a comment. Have a good afternoon. Peace. I'm out of here.